Hello students, you are welcome to LODS lecture series. I will be taking you through a quick tour on SS316 Managerial Economics. This video is for study session 4, Demand Estimate and Forecasting. Do enjoy your learning as we go through this video. Introduction. Demand estimate is the process of knowing information about the current demand for the firm products. Demand forecasting, on the other hand, is all about determining the quantity of commodity that should be purchased and produced. In this study session, you will be introduced to the meaning of demand estimate and demand forecasting. You will also learn about the tools and techniques used in demand forecasting. Let's quickly run through the learning outcome for this study session. At the end of this study session, you should be able to define demand estimate, describe demand forecasting, and explain the method of demand forecasting. Demand estimate. Demand estimate is the process of finding current value of demand for various values of price and other determining variables. Business enterprise needs to know the demand for its products and at the same time know current demand for its products in order to avoid overproduction or underproduction. The current demands should be known for determining pricing and promotion policy so that it is able to secure optimal sales and maximum profit. Demand forecasting. Demand forecasting is the activities of estimating the quantity of products or service that consumers will purchase. Doing so make it easier to adjust production schedule so that the demand can be met effectively while still avoiding the possibility of producing quantity that exceed the demand. Demand forecasting can also be referred to as estimate of future demand for the product. Quality of a good forecast. Quality of a good forecast include accuracy, simplicity, availability, economy, and unity. And utility. Accuracy. Various important plans are prepared on the basis of forecast. In case of wrong forecasting, the business may be in trouble and suffer heavy losses. Therefore, it is necessary to have such forecasting system which amount to minimum accuracy. Simplicity. Forecasting methods should be as simple as possible. If it is difficult or technical, then the person who is engaged in forecasting job will not be able to do his job properly, and there will be chances for mistake. Some information may also require to be collected from outsider. If the method is complex or difficult, then they may not be able to reply reasonably and accurately. The next one is availability. The object and scope of forecast should be as such as the relevant information are collected immediately with reasonable accuracy. The next one is economy. Cost must be weighed against the importance of the forecast to the operation of the business. The last one is utility. The forecasting techniques must be easily understandable and reliable to the management. Step in demand forecasting. Forecasting demand is an important task for any type of business. Accurately projecting the demand for specific goods and services help companies to order material and schedule production of those products in a timely manner, making it possible to fill consumer order quickly and effectively without the need to build up a large inventory that add to the tax burden of the business. There are 5 basic steps that can make demand forecast a much simpler process. These steps include: 1. Identify the products that are to be considered as part of the demand forecast. 2. Set parameters for the demand forecast. 3. Determine the target market or market for the product. 4. Gather data that's relevant to forecast demand. And last one, calculate the actual forecast. Let's explain them one after the other. Identify the products that are to be considered as part of the forecast process. Doing this will help to create a sense of focus for the effort and make it easier to get the policy recognition and attraction to those products rather than simply relying on the overall reaction of consumer to the brand name and the overall product line. Set parameters for the demand forecast. Establish a specific time frame for the forecast, such as the beginning of the second quarter to the end of that same quarter in the upcoming business year. This makes it easy to include events that are highly likely to occur in the time frame and have some effect on consumer demand for the product under consideration. The next one is determine the target market or market for the product. The market may be composed of demographics that has to do with age, gender, location, or any other set of identified characteristics desired. This can also add focus to the demand forecast since it helps the business understand the level of business volume that can be reasonably anticipated from that demographic. The next one is gather data that are relevant for demand forecast. Information such as breaking down in population within targeted area, dividing by age group or economic classes can often help make it easy to determine the approximate number of sales to anticipate during the period under consideration. Calculate the actual forecast. While there are several formulas used for this process, most will require assumption that a fixed percentage of the target market will consume the product a certain number of times during the forecast period. Typically, those percentages are based on other industry standards relevant to the product or the actual history of past periods associated with the actual goods and services offered by the business. Type of demand forecast. Demand forecast can be classified into short-term and long-term forecast. Long-term demand forecast. This forecasting is meant for long period. The important purpose of long-term forecast are it gives room for long-term financial planning, make easy the manpower planning requirement for long-term sales forecast. It helps in forecast future problem of material supply and energy prices. It is a vital tool for management decision making and market management. The next one is short-term demand forecast. Short-term demand forecast is limited to short period, usually for a year. Important purpose of short-term demand forecast are it makes a suitable production policy to avoid overproduction and underproduction. It helps firms to reduce cost of processing raw material and to control inventory. It's good for decision suitable price policy so as to avoid an increase when the demand is low. It helps in setting correct sales target on the basis of future demand. A high target may discourage salesmen. The last one is it involves a suitable advertisement and promotional program. Level of demand forecast. Demand forecast may be undertaken at 3 levels. 1. Macro level. 2. Industrial level and firm level. Macro level demand forecast is related to the business condition prevailing in the economy as a whole. Industry level, it is prepared by different trade associations in order to estimate the demand for particular industrial products. Industry include number of firms. It is useful for inter-industry comparison. Firm level. It is more important from managerial point of view as it helps the managerial management in decision making with regard to the farm demand and production. Method of demand forecast. The method of demand forecast can be grouped into survey and statistical methods, and each method can be further divided into various types. As you can see on the slide, we have survey method, which has under 8: opinion survey method, expert opinion method, Devi method, consumer interview method, and statistical methods has under 8: trend projection method, regression and correlation method, extrapolation method, simultaneous equation method, and barometric techniques. Let's explain them one after the other. Survey method is generally used when the purpose is to make short-run forecasts of demand. Under this method, consumer surveys are conducted to collect information about their intention and future purchase plan. This method includes opinion survey method. This method is also known as SS4 or composite method or collective opinion method. Under this method, the company asks its salesmen to submit estimates for future sales in their respective territory. This method is more useful and appropriate because the salesmen are more knowledgeable about their territory. The second one under survey method is expert opinion method. Under this, apart from salesmen and consumers, distributor and insider experts may also be used for forecasts. Firms in advanced countries like to make use of outside experts for estimating future demand. Various public and private agencies set periodic forecasts of sort of long-term business conditions. The next one under the survey method is Devi method. It is sophisticated statistical method to arrive at a conclusion. Under this method, a panel is selected to give suggestions to solve the problem in hand. Both internal and external experts can be the members of the panel. Panel members are kept apart from each other and express their view in an anonymous manner. The next one is consumer interview method. This one is also under the survey method. Under this method, a list of potential buyers will be drawn and each buyer will be approached and asked about their buying plan. The next type of method of demand forecast is statistical method. Statistical method, it is used for long-term forecasting. In this method, statistical and mathematical techniques are used to forecast demand. Statistical methods are considered to be superior techniques of estimation of demand due to the following reasons. 1. The method is